Hello, hello, hello. You are tuned into Rants and Bants with Oyin. And today with me in the studio, I have got the talented, the super beautiful, what other word can I use? I've got Lola Rae in the building with me, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming in. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Have you rested from the Burna Boy concert?
No, but I feel like I need to rest. Actually, funny enough, I got a message on Snapchat saying, "Oh, you look exhausted." I was like, I am exhausted.
So usually when you perform, how long does it normally take you to come back down to earth?
You know, usually we actually haven't been taking performances for a while, but when I was performing, it was back to back. Rehearsals, back-to-back studios, so there was really no resting. You just get, your body just adjusts. So my body is adjusting. I think so.
What have you been doing since the end of the concert?
I've been eating. Is this bad? I hope my manager isn't listening, but I've been eating. Like, I can't lie. Before the concert, I was like, oh, let me not eat too much. But when that concert ended, I went to Vapiano's, and then afterwards I was like eating jollof and everything, so I've been eating.
Like carb overload. You're
carb
like, I need
overload,
this.
yeah.
All right. So my first introduction to you was Watch My Tingo.
Yes.
And that was like for someone to just burst into the scene with such a powerful tune. Like,
do you think it was powerful?
I think it was, because when I heard it, it was everywhere.
What?
It was everywhere when I heard it.
I don't think I know the impact that song had, because that was truly my first ever song I put on the internet, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I hope it gets like 500 views. You know, that was my expectation. So it's still very shocking to hear.
I mean, on YouTube at the moment, just the video alone, not even the streaming on YouTube, it has over like 300,000 views.
The video,
I
think it has 3 million. Yeah, 3 million views.
Yeah, over 3 million actually. It's got 3,358,000.
Born and brought up in Nigeria. My dad is English, but I don't actually know how he ended up living in Africa. Like, he lived in Tanzania, Kenya, then he moved to Nigeria. He was in Nigeria for like 30 years, where he met my mom. And I was born and brought up in Nigeria, which is why everyone's like, how do you have the name Fumi Lola? My mom's family all married into Nigerians, and all my aunties gave me that name, Fumi Lola. So that's why I really only know Nigeria. I don't really know that much about Ghana.
But you're not actually Nigerian, are you?
No, I'm not.
Half British,
yes,
half
Ghanaian.
But
I don't know. Like, put it this way: when I go to Ghana, they call me that Nigerian girl. Like, every time I go there, because I don't know anything about Ghana, and I only know Nigeria. I lived there for 16 years, so it's home for me. And that's my origin, basically.
Were you born in Nigeria?
In Lagos.
So how was it like growing up in Lagos?
It was dope. It's just home. It's kind of like me asking, how was it growing up in London? Do you grow up in London?
For the earlier part of my life, I was in London. Then I was in Lagos for the larger part as well.
Where did you grow up in Lagos?
Ikeja.
Okay,
not too far. It was like in the GRA
area. My dad used to work there, so it's not too far. The
military barracks is not so far, so that was my life.
Not that far. But it was, growing up there was, I thank God for it now, you know, because it really has made me a rooted person. I'm very cultured. I have manners. And I feel like you get those things from growing up in Africa. Like, you know, you can't pay for that kind of stuff.
There's no way about it. It's like they say, it takes a village. So even if your mom wasn't doing it, the whole community would jump on you.
Anywhere you go, you can never be troublesome, because one auntie knows one auntie that knows one auntie that knows your one.
That's true. That is so true.
Yeah.
So you live there from the time you were born till about 16.
Yes, 16. And then I moved here for further education, really to make sure I could get into university and stuff. Moved here, and I remember thinking, why am I in this cold country? I remember the first time I even saw snow. Oh my God, I sound so fresh, don't I? The first time I saw snow, I was like, wow, this looks so cool. But it's not like the movies. But I moved here, went to Bexley Grammar School in Sidcup, and got into university, and that was about it. And that was about it.
So while you were at university, you hadn't started singing then, but you were always dancing?
Yes. I think my first year of university was when I did Britain's Got Talent, and then I met a guy called P2J, And yeah, that's
Who
how
produced
He's
My
produced
Thing?
all my songs actually thus far. Well, the songs out now, the new ones are produced by different people. But yeah, P2J. I met him through a guy called Sam, and P2J was like, yo. I remember when I first went to him, I was signed to Simon Cowell and I wanted to do English music. And he was like, no, you need to do Afrobeats. He was like, I can just... So first of all, you're fresh. So why are you even trying to go and do Fonel on song? So yeah, he was the one that really pushed me to do Afrobeats.
So you mentioned that you were signed to Simon Cowell. Did that come off of Britain's Got Talent?
Yes, yeah, I did. I was signed for 2 years with my group, Mystical.
As dancers?
As dancers and vocalists, because we sang as well. Yeah.
So while you were with him, what did you work on? Did you put anything out during that time?
To be honest, we didn't really work on anything. We were fighting.
What, you were fighting with Simon Cowell?
No, not with Simon Cowell. But within the group, we had like little issues. When we look back now, because we're all friends, when we look back, we're like, oh, how silly were we? Like little silly things, like I want to be at the front, little things. And I was just like, nah, this is not for me, so I left.
Okay, fair enough. You mentioned that you didn't actually start singing the whole time you were at uni, but when did you realize you could sing? Like, when did you know you could, like, you're like, you know, sometimes like you say, you're pretending and you're singing, and then you drop something and you're like, wow, I can sing.
I don't...
Was there a moment, actually, let's put it this way, was there a moment
so.
where you were like, I can sing, or you had that realization, like, apple in your head?
I don't ever, even now, I feel like I'm still learning. I'm still trying to work on my craft, but I feel like the moment I knew that, okay, there's potential there, was when Simon Cowell pointed me out of the group and was like, you have a really good voice. And then he pointed me out again in the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent, was like, you have a really good voice, you should work on it. And I was thinking, I remember looking around thinking, is it me? Like, what? And so after that, I was like, wow, okay, maybe if Simon is saying it, then maybe I should, take this serious. Yeah.
I mean, well, so you got to the finals. Did you get to the finals?
We got to the semi-finals.
Climax
And we got eliminated. And I remember I was so gutted, but now I am so happy that happened, because it was what I needed. If we got into the finals, we'd have been in a longer deal with Simon Cowell. I wouldn't have been able to record Watch My Tingo, which came shortly after the Simon Cowell situation. So it was a blessing in disguise.
So do you feel like that gave you the confidence, because you said you had anxiety to sing?
1000%.
Did you feel like it gave you the confidence to go out and be like, let's give this a go? Yeah,
but I still have anxiety. Even at the Burna Boy show, I was having a panic attack backstage. Everyone's like, just calm down, it's all right. But I'm just that kind of person. I just get really nervous, but as soon as I go on stage, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So following on from like being signed with Simon Cowell, that was inevitably going to be English music, or at least the music catering to a more British audience, or
1000%.
But going to then doing your own music, say Watch My Tingo, for example, which was obviously a very distinct sound.
Very distinct.
Did you ever feel like, even now that you're in the industry, and I want to say African industry, because even though it goes worldwide, it is truly Afrobeat is connected to the culture of Africa and Nigeria more specifically. Would you say that you found your space in the industry? Do you feel like you fit into the industry?
I think I'm fitting in. I don't think I've fit in necessarily. I feel like with Watch My Tingo, had I been in Nigeria when I released it, I feel like I could have done the necessary work to fit in, but I was still at university here, so I couldn't go back. So it was like I was balancing them both. And I feel like it's weird, because I released the song, but I wasn't in the market to actually do the work and do the necessary rounds. But so I'm trying to fit in now. I would say I'm fitting in. It left an impact, but it was kind of like missing the person as well. Yeah. So I think it did what it did.
I mean, it's like you mentioned, you said that you weren't really prepared for it. You weren't ready for it.
At all.
And I was going to ask, do you ever feel like you can be prepared or ready for this industry or this business? Do you feel like there's something you could do to be like, okay, now I'm ready to do it?
Listen, prayer and fasting. People do not understand. I pray so much and I fast on a daily. That's the only preparation I can offer to anyone, because this industry is so unpredictable. Like, you could be listening to a song now, you and I could play you a song and we'd be like, yeah, this is not a hit, release it, and it's like the next pana and everyone is going mad over it. You just never know. So no, I don't think you can prepare.
Okay, well, you just heard from Lola Rae. She is saying that she doesn't think you can be prepared for fame. Do you think you can be prepared for fame, or prepared to chase your dreams? I don't know. I think...
Do you think you could?
I don't know if you're ever prepared for it. I think people
No.
have dreams and you have aspirations, but until it actually begins to happen, you're never fully like
Ready.
like this is, I'm here now.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go on a quick musical break, and when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. You are now listening to Don't Mind by
Climax
Kent Jones.
Radio.
We'll be back shortly. Got Lola